Hi, everyone. My name is Aurelie Villard, and I work in the UNMC Department of Strategic Communications. So for my part, I'll be talking about social media recruitment, and I'm going to share my screen for some of my slides. So this PowerPoint specifically will talk about just social media ads when it comes to recruiting for clinical trials or research studies. So the four main points that I will be jumping into, which is really important, is messaging, figuring out your demographic, and then the ad design, and then budget. Budget's always a big one for everyone. So for messaging, and I will have a few samples on here so you could see exactly what some of these social media ads should look like, especially the ones we do for UNMC. But we really want it to be super short. I know a lot of researchers have a hard time condensing information and reducing information, which is why having a call to action is always important. Call to action is basically what you want that participant or that future person or someone who is interested in the study, what you want them to do, whether it's to click on a link, whether it's to call a phone number to get more information about the study. So just having the basics and the main points about the study so that they can understand and reach out if they are interested. So I've created a few ad libs to really help out some of our researchers here on campus. And all they need to do is just fill in the blanks into some of these Mad Libs. So what your messaging sample should have is a headline. And for headline, I usually say for your headline, it should be, what will this study answer? What is the study looking to get out of? What is your end goal? So having a headline that covers that will be very helpful, and it should be catching as well. So what is your study for? Who are you looking to recruit? Anything specific about the study? Usually when I say something specific, I usually talk about maybe is there any, will some of the participants be compensated? A lot of people like to see that. So just anything specific about the study, whether it's some of the requirements, maybe 30 and up, maybe you're looking for people or children 8 and up, so just specifics. And then as always, having a call to action or some type of contact information. So in the bold, these are the ad copy that I've created as Mad Libs, where our researchers could just go ahead and fill in the blank. So if you want to, you could take a screenshot of this, or I could always share this this PowerPoint later as well. But these two are the main ones that we use, and we feel like it's worked because it gets the basic information across and it lets people know what exactly they need to do in order to contact the researcher. So demographics, this is a big one. This really deals with who will be in the study, who are you looking for? So whether it's male, female, both, age range, looking for people with certain health or medical conditions. So if it's someone that has, someone that's playing in sports and they happen to have like ACL tear or something like that, so you could literally target specific people with certain conditions. Certain interests is always a big one as well. Location is big, and then also knowing what platform you want to recruit on. So I do a lot of Facebook and Instagram ads for our study, and then we've also done Google, which is really big, billboards, but Google and social media ads are the most popular because people are always online. So we usually target people based off some of their searches, and which is how we're able to recruit people. Also, timing is really, really big. Always thinking about, okay, it's November, what's going on around the world in November? How can my study relate to this? So two examples that I do have is I recently did an ACL injury one. And so we covered all 4 seasons of different sports: basketball, football, soccer, baseball. And so we only had those ads out during those seasons. And we made sure to have those ads reflect the type of sport that they're looking for. And in the next few slides, I'll give you samples for that as well. But always thinking about, does this make sense? We tend to tell people not to do ads around holidays, because most people are spending more time with their families or not online as much, unless it's posting a photo or something. But trying to really think about, is the timing good, and maybe you should do it a different day, or yeah, just thinking about the timing. It's really important. So ad design, like I mentioned earlier, having simple text, easy read, making sure it's 8th grade level. And we say this because we want people to be able to see an ad, and if they feel like they know someone who could potentially participate in this ad, we want to be able to have a neighbor tell their neighbor about this ad in the most simplest way. So how can they remember this ad so they could go tell someone that they know, or someone that they feel would be right for this study. So making sure it's condensed and it's easy to read. Also, photos and videos. We've been having a lot of fun with videos as well, but the most easiest way to do it is using photos. So any content about the study should reflect what the photo is. And again, I'll have some examples. So if it's something about, let's say you're looking for someone who has back pains when they sleep at night. So a best photo to use for that is someone in bed, maybe touching their arm, if it's aching, like something that tells a story and that reflects what you're looking for. Also, another one on here is community. So making sure you're showing, if you're trying to participate, if you're trying to recruit certain people, make sure that that is reflected in the study as well, in the photo. So this is a breakdown of basically everything I just said. So kind of dividing up the way some of our ads are done. So in the red, our headline, let me see, is there anything in the chat? Oh, okay. So in the red, this is where we would put our headline, so that is the first thing people see. Even if they don't read that, main caption at the top, they could at least know what we're looking for. So participate in osteoporosis research at UNMC, and then we have a photo of a lady with this bone thing that she's holding on to. And then so name of the study, and then here again, this is kind of using some of our Mad Lib here. And then one big thing that we started adding is our IRB number. I've started putting them onto the photos at like either the left-hand corner, but basically this is what it should look like. And this is not something that you do on your own. Obviously, you could send it to our strategic communications department and we will pull this all together. But we definitely want to let you know that this is how it would look like, so that you have a concept of what other people on the other side are looking at. And let me know if you have any questions as I'm going through this. So my last thing is budget. Budget is really important, and it really depends on the length of time for your ad. So if you're looking to recruit people in about 5 days, then obviously $50 is not going to cover the 5 days. So just based off some of our previous ads, we've had for a week, maybe $75 like every other day. And then I've included some of these analytics for how much these ads have done. So this ad, we did it for 2 weeks and we doubled it. So it was about 150, and this one was about $200, and this was for a week as well. And then you could see some of the analytics on how it goes. So there's really no right answer when it comes to a certain budget. It's just based off of the ads we've done in the past and just kind of looking at that data and then using that same data to do future ads. So the budget really varies. And then I had another placement in here about different avenues, but I don't think it's saved on here, Emily. So if you want to pull that up for your slide, I could go and talk about that as well. But yeah, these are just the main ways to get into social media ads and some of the guidelines that we follow here at UNMC. It's very strategic, and we work with you to figure out exactly your demographic if you don't have that set already. We also work with the IRB to make sure that the copy is good. So yeah, we guide you here with in the strategic communications department for ads. So yeah, that is my piece on social media recruitment using Facebook ads. The same goes for Google as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Maria, I understood, if I recall, this is Kate Fiant, that these ads have to be approved as part of your IRB. Isn't that right? Yeah. Okay, so they have to be done and sent to IRB for approval. Okay.
Yeah, so we have come up with basically a workflow on how we need to start sending this stuff to IRB. So before you send like your initial study to the IRB, and you know this is something that you want to recruit social media ads, you want to recruit people from social media ads, you send that to the VCR office and they'll reach out to me and I will go ahead and build the ad for you as if I'm actually going to activate it. And I'll take a screenshot of what the ad will look like, and then I'll send it back to you to send along with the IRB with all your other stuff. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
Yep. So then once IRB approves everything, we know that we don't have to worry about the IRB since they've approved the ad, how it's going to look like, and everything else that they go through. And then so once it comes to me, I rebuild the ad with all the information that was given to me, and then I follow up with you every 2 weeks, depending on how long the ad is. If it's 3 months, then we figure out, okay, how often do we want to get analytics to see if we need to make a change or anything like that. So yeah, after the IRB, we don't have to worry about that anymore.
Awesome. I think LaDan has her hand raised, and then Rebecca after her.
Yes, hi. Thank you for this awesome presentation. I'm at UNK, not UNMC. I wondered if there was a way that I could use your expertise, you know, on my ads. I do have a lot of problem with recruitment.
Yeah, definitely. And I could send you my contact information so that we could talk more and I could help you with exactly what you're having trouble with.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And Rebecca?
Yeah, I had a couple questions. So the first one is, you had mentioned maybe holding off on social media ads around holidays. When is kind of the cutoff, like when you would consider delaying?
Yeah. So for example, right now, I'm working on a family medicine campaign, and basically it's talking about what is family medicine and why people should have a primary care doctor. And so we will be running this campaign the first 3 weeks or the first 2.5 weeks of November. And then since Thanksgiving is coming, we don't want to waste the budget and doing it around, you know, people are traveling. No one's really looking for ads or anything right now. So, so we'll do it the first 2 weeks of November, and then we'll restart it for December, and then we'll cut it off before Christmas. So just kind of being conscious about, you know, certain days or certain holidays. But if your study deals with a holiday in some way, I don't know, maybe, for example, Thanksgiving, I don't know, I'm just coming up with one, but for Thanksgiving and you're talking about eating healthy, then that would be, it really depends. So if it's like something about brain study, I'm not going to run that during Christmas time. But if it's something about healthy eating, then I'll run it during the summer. I'll run it for around Christmas time. You just have to like really think about it. So hopefully that was helpful.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you. And then I had one other question. So then how to get in contact with you about setting up social media ads, do we just email you? Is there a form to fill out? What's the best?
Yeah. So I don't know, are you at UNMC, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So yeah, so the VCR office now has a research communication specialist. Her name is Allegra Harden. And then so she will be the person to email first and say, hey, I have this research study that will be starting soon, and I really would like to recruit some people. And then so she will reach out to our department so that you could also have your ad or your study in our UNMC Today, if you want to recruit that way as well. And we do share those stories online organically, so it doesn't always have to be an ad. And then so if this is something that you know for sure that you want it to be an ad, then she'll connect you with me, and then we'll go through that process of me building the ad exactly how you want it to look like. And then I would take a screenshot of basically how it is on the screen right now, and then that's how you would send it to the IRB. But then during that process, we would work together, and then I would answer any of the questions you have, or if there's anything tweaking that you'd want to tweak about the ad, then we would work through that as well. But we don't really let the researchers do the ads on their own, because it's kind of complicated, and we want to just, you know, it's already hard enough to get this study moving. So we take that away from you so that we can do it for you. And we just work with you to make sure it's exactly what you want, and that it's proper so that we're recruiting the exact people that you need for the study.
Perfect, thank you.
Aurelie, for the time it takes to kind of enter your request with Allegra and then getting the ad back from you for IRB, about how long does that take, do you think?
Yeah, so I always say about 2 to 5 days, just so because I'm also getting that Allegra is sending me like 2, 3 at a time. So I usually say 2 to 5 days as a turnaround time for the draft, and then the same thing for the actual ad to be active and posted after IRB approves it. So 2 to 5 days.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Aurelie?
Kiana, I just wanted to piggyback off one of the questions I think you had asked in the chat was about readability and the level of education that your document is written at. And there is a way to view that in Microsoft Word. So I'll be sure when I post these documents online, I'll be sure to include how you can access the readability within Microsoft Word, but it's just a little option that you click when you go into your spelling and grammar check, but it'll actually tell you the reading level using the Fletch-Kincaid scale. So I'll be sure to include that information with all of our documents.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Real quickly, if Aurelie is done with her part, I'm going to share my screen and just add a few additional comments. Okay, can everyone see this slide?
Yep.
Perfect. So another community-based recruitment avenue is through registries. Patient registries are a great way to recruit certain populations into your study if you have a difficult time recruiting. So registries typically collect basic information about individuals who are interested in research, which allows researchers to easily identify eligible participants for their studies. So the Great Plains IDSCTR has set up 2 registries. One of them is called GP Cognet. It stands for our cognitive network, and it recruits individuals who have ranging degrees of cognitive impairment, all the way from normative aging all the way up through Alzheimer's disease. And this is to help researchers who are doing brain health studies. We're also getting ready to launch the Great Plains Regional Registry, which will enroll all individuals who are interested in research. There's no specific criteria or area of interest for this registry. It's just to expand recruitment avenues at the university and also regionally. So if a researcher from outside the Great Plains IDSTR network is interested in recruiting from this registry, they're able to do so. But I just wanted to put in a quick plug for our registries. I'm the coordinator for both of these. So if you have questions, you can reach out to me directly. They're also patient or public facing, I should say, which is really great, which means that any individual can go to the web links. They don't have to be on campus. They don't have to be within our firewall, and they can self-enroll at home, wherever they may be, at their doctor's office. They can enroll on a smartphone. So it's a really simple way to get involved in research. And then we're going to tie this piece in later on when Heidi and I talk about dissemination. But registries are a great way to disseminate research findings back out into the community and to those who have participated in research. So just keep this in mind for later on in our talk. And I kind of jumped the gun a little bit, but here's a couple ways registries can be very useful to researchers in different capacities. So you can use registries for feasibility metrics, whether or not you're capable of recruiting a certain population for a study. This ties into the facilities and other resource section of a grant application where you have to state resources that you have available to you. You can list our registries as a resource. And then it's also obviously a recruitment avenue for different studies, and then to refer patients to research studies. And then finally, the dissemination component. If you need an avenue to disseminate your findings, to share research ideas with the community, then doing so through a patient registry is a great way to notify individuals who are interested in research in the community of what's happening. So I just wanted to kind of tie this into what we'll be talking about later with dissemination. And then I know Aurelie also mentioned different audiences and different avenues you can use aside from social media for recruitment. So Aurelie, I didn't know if you wanted to run through this list right here.
Yeah, so these are different avenues that you can also go to. We want to say don't put all your eggs in one basket. So if you want to use all these resources, especially if you need to recruit like 50 or more people, we recommend using everything that you can. So taking advantage of campus resources, we have campus newsletter, which is UNMC Today. And this is, when you're trying to recruit like a broad range of people, like it doesn't matter if they're faculty, staff, or students, you just like need people who whose interest aligns with what the study is. Then we put that in UNMC Today so that anyone who is interested can participate. And then slides for campus monitors, that goes through our department as well, through Karen Burback. She's part of the creative creative branding that happens for UNMC. So once when you're walking down the hallway, you'll see like different slides, especially in Nebraska medicine. We have some of our slides in there as well. So that is a good way to also share the study information. And then press releases, that goes through Vicky Serino here in our strategic communications department. She does state blasts. So if it's something where you're needing a lot of Nebraskans to participate in, she would be your main person to contact, and she'll do blasts, and she'll also connect you with our local media news team here so that they can interview you, and that could also be a way to recruit people from just viewers. Science Cafe, that's here with our events team, Casey Gerard. She does a lot of interviewing with our researchers, so that could be a fun way to talk about the study. It's a more relaxed and more laid back type of environment, and it's also streamed on Facebook. So that's another avenue. Ask UNMC, that is, we record that in studios. It's not live, it's just pre-recorded, and then we post that onto our YouTube channels, and I also use them on our socials just to share so that people could know about it. So that is also a great avenue to explore. Banners is always popular. That's also done through everything on here is done through our department, honestly. Banners, skywalks, that would be through Karen. And conferences, that's something that could be set up through your department as well as our department for support. And then, so I know Heidi made a comment about the 40 years plus, but that's just based off of our demographic that we've done research on, just from the people who are on our socials. We've noticed that if you want to share, your study on our Facebook page, which is the primary UNMC Facebook page, it's a lot of people who are basically, we call them advocates of the university. So that audience tends, and donors, that audience tends to be 40 and up, and just like people who support the university and who are just fans of the NU system. So they follow us. And then people who are kind of confused where they get their care from. I know we share the same logo as Nebraska Medicine. So they also support our page. But so yeah. And then so Instagram, if you're looking to recruit high school students and college students, I know we did a recruitment about a study about recruiting college students, something about COVID vaccine, and we targeted college students, and they're all on Instagram. So really thinking about which platform would work better. Google Ads, that's a little bit different. That's just based off the search engines. So we will target people who happen to search something specific or related to the study. And then Facebook Live, that's always great. That will, you'll be speaking to our own audience here. I think on our Facebook, we have about 20,000 people. So, I mean, if you're trying to recruit 5 people for something out of our 20,000, I'm sure you'll find someone. So that could be an option as well. That would be a little bit more of a setup, an appointment setup type of thing. And then, yeah, and timing is also on this, just thinking about, okay, I know exactly what platform I want to use. My study has been approved. Is this the right timing? And all of that. So yeah, these are the avenues that you should also look into, and some work better than the other. It just really depends on what your study is about. And then, like, again, our department will walk you and let you know which one would work better. So.
Has your department started to explore things like TikTok or Snapchat as other avenues of promotion on social media?
Yeah, so we do have a TikTok for the university, and we've just been putting organic stuff on there, nothing paid. But we noticed that the audience that we're targeting, it's going to be high school students who are interested in going to medical school or nursing school or whatever it is. So if we do any campaigns about that, it's just recruitment for the university in general. It's a little bit harder for like clinical trials and research studies. We haven't ventured into that. It's definitely open. We can try that. We just haven't. So if someone wants to be the first person to raise our hands for that and see if that's something they want to try, we can do that. But we've only used it just for recruitment for the university in general.